All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 day challenge. This is day 261, so let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, you'll notice the balance is actually up a little bit overall, but we're actually closing a number of trades, both in terms of experimental trade setup. I took the stop loss because I was actually entering a long setup, like what I mentioned in terms of price action wise, and it actually entered just nice, sadly, but then after that, triggered the stop loss. So that's something to bear in mind. All right, on the other hand, on the main setup, I actually took both losses and also profits in terms of trailing stop loss for Ethereum and also losses for Bitcoin in terms of the main trading setup as well. So that explains the differences in it. All right, otherwise, right now I don't see any potential setup, so I actually leave it as blank over here. So you can see on the daily chart, actually, Bitcoin transited to a bearish market structure since yesterday. But more importantly, actually, there's a potential very bearish sign that's forming on Bitcoin itself. So that is on the weekly chart per se. And reason is very simple. You can look in terms of here. Even though we are forming higher highs, we're actually not getting any stronger in terms of momentum and we are sloping downwards. So I do see that we could potentially have a very strong pullback and downwards itself. But how low can it go is something that is highly subjective. But definitely this is not this itself is not looking to form a very nice ascending triangle. Instead, if you look in terms of the weekly chart itself, I would say it looks more towards like what do you call it, ascending bearish wedge itself. So meaning to say, even though we are trending upwards, the key thing is that even though we break upwards above this 60K mark, I expected there to be further increase in volume or at least price maintained above it in order to remain bullish. But since right now price is getting rejected out from it, we are forming a very nice rejective candlestick. And even though we still have 20 over hours to go, our volume is actually higher than the previous week. It goes to show that there is a decent sign of rejection to that perspective. So if we do close this week by this bearish rejection candlestick itself, I'll be leaning towards further bearish momentum in the near to short term, which means say in the next couple of weeks or even couple of months ahead. I wouldn't say months, but maybe a couple of weeks ahead, we could actually retrace downwards, especially to retest this famously known 20 exponential moving average on the weekly chart, which is key to known as a supportive sign for bullish market structure to remain intact on the overall bullish basis. So definitely buying pressure will come if it prices does come towards there. So right now it's around 44K-ish. So tomorrow we'll possibly close near here, and if we do consolidate over here, it will still be a good sign. But if we do decisively break below that and stay below that, then tentatively we could see a very much and stronger bearish momentum towards the downside. So let's see how things goes. In terms of timeline, of the overall cycle itself, it still looks to be a little bit of the midway through. But of course, even midway through, we could have very strong rejection or pullback, in which case if you measure from the top to the bottom kind of pullback, you could have a very nice 30% pullback to this 45K-ish region and still remain bullish in that perspective. Yeah, so potentially that is something that would actually be a good thing because it will remove a lot of people who are actually so-called identified weak hands or a little bit more cautious in the approach itself. So otherwise, for me, I'm still holding in terms of my long-term position-wise. Trading-wise, right now, I'm actually closing most of my position, and I will be waiting on the sideline to see clear support before re-entering again. Otherwise, that's more or less about it. No major position looking in place for trading-wise. For investing-wise, I'll be looking for good opportunities whereby there's strong pullbacks in terms of good tokens, and I'll be adding in as well. Otherwise, that's it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.